Hello friend, Daniel here with StockMusicLicensing.com, bringing you the best tips and strategies for selling your music on royalty-free libraries. In this video, I want to explain to you what are those 3 plugins that you need to master in order to get better mixes. Now, in my experience, these 3 plugins are as follow: EQ, compression, and reverb. You really don't need anything else in order to get some great mixes. With that being said, you need to start the mixing process earlier on when you're composing your music track. Now, when we're doing stock music, we are everything. We are the composer, the musician, the producer, the mixer, the editor, we're everything. And we're even the master engineers as well. Now, what I like to do is that I like to mix my tracks earlier on in the process, meaning that as I am introducing elements like piano, guitars, or whatnot, different instruments will have a place in this composition. Earlier on in the process, what I like to do is decide and commit to different levels as the instruments are being introduced into the session. Now, this helps me for 2 reasons. First of all, it helps me commit to a sound that I'm looking for. It helps me commit as well to some type of energy that I'm looking for with this particular track without using any type of plugins. When you do this earlier in the process, you have already decided what levels you want to have your piano, your guitars. Then depending on the genre of the track that you're working on, these different instruments will have different levels and different intensities. At the moment, I'm working on a workshop for the members of the SML Mastermind group, and I release a new workshop and really exclusive content to the private community every month. And this next month, the topic is going to be about how to mix a track for stock libraries. Mixing is really a fun process. It's not a science, it's an art, but you have to trust your ears. So by using only EQ and compression to control the dynamics and reverb to put your mix in some kind of a space, a room, a concert hall, a church, or a venue, these are really the 3 elements that you just need to, in order to master those 3 plugins, you can get really good mixes. And I like to think of EQ as a volume control, nothing else, nothing more. And I like to think of compression as a tool that is going to help me control the dynamics and enhance the dynamic and the energy of the music. And reverb as just simply another tool that is going to simulate or give the impression that this music is being played in a room of a certain characteristics. So these 3 elements of a mix is enough for you to actually get your mixes to where you want them to be. Now, there is such a thing as starting to mix your tracks without any plugins whatsoever. And this is, like I said, done earlier in the writing process, and you do that by just moving the faders up and down. That's it. If you can't hear the guitars, you just need to bring the fader up. Nothing else, nothing more. That's all you need to do. At this stage as well, you're deciding what you want to do with this guitar. Is this guitar going to be playing at the left or at the right of the stereo spectrum? Where are they going to be? Are they going to be really far away, or are they going to be really up front? And this can be decided by using your faders and by using panning. So you can slowly create a nice balance when it comes down to the stereo field with all your instrument. Now, the mixing process for me is actually the fun part. Mixing is intuition in combination with decision making and trusting your ears, trusting what you want to hear. Forget about all the rules when it comes down to mixing. If you're mixing individual tracks and you're using EQ, just go for a preset. If you're not sure how to EQ a guitar, there's nothing wrong with that. You can go for a preset on the EQ and see how that preset is affecting your guitar tone. Then learn from it and maybe just go back to the default and go and do it manually and see what can you do with your guitar sound in order for you to improve that sound. Sometimes I'm disappointed in some of my students when I show my session that it has 0 to no plugins whatsoever. have guitar parts that have been recorded and it has no plugins. And I don't need to justify myself in order to get a good sound, to put plugins, compressor, choruses, and flangers and whatnot. All of these things are fun, but you have to ask yourself, does it need it? Is it really making a difference to the music? And I like to record everything as clean as possible, and by that I mean that I'm a guitarist, so I'm obsessed with tone already. So I like to record my guitar parts with the sound that is going to be going into the actual session. I don't do reamping, I don't add any more distortion with pedals and stuff. I just like the sound as it is, as I am writing the track. And I try to think of my mixes in the same way. Again, I hope this video is helpful to you. If you would like to learn more about how to license your music and how to sell your music on royalty-free libraries and how you can do everything by yourself, write your music, mix your music, master your music, and upload it to different royalty-free libraries and start earning money, then download my free guide, link in the description. And as always, rock and roll, and here's to your success.